A thread by Soul War. Portland has to play itself out. The mainstream media is doing what it does best, trying to create defeat out of impending victory. The night games are now repetitious as Portland's Justice Center and the federal courthouse across the street. It will be rinse, repeat until one side breaks. From the nation, Trump unleashes his secret police in Portland. 1. From 8 p.m. to 2 a.m., a massive crowd mills about, chanting slogans and holding signs. The Antifa moms are at the center of attention. 2. From 2 a.m. to 4 a.m., hardcore Antifa attack the courthouse to draw out the feds so that they can claim victimhood. To protect the courthouse from these lunatic firebugs, the feds come out and push Antifa back as the Antifa moms and most of the crowd fade. Then it starts all over again. The moms are a Marxist PR tool. They're there to have their moral outrage slathered in tear gas. So the MSM can breathlessly tell the world Trump gasses mommies trying to stop fascism. The American flag is no longer burned, but waved. One would think that that is progress back to sanity, but you'd be wrong. It's now also a prop, as Antifa likes the vets against the feds angle. From a practiced eye, I could tell you a tremendous amount of money is being spent for these nightly PR stunts. Food, riot ribs, snacks, drinks, and donated gear are everywhere. A dozen tents in the nearby park house supplies and grills on sidewalks give out free hot dogs. This campaign against the Fed's restoration of the rule of law Antifa is waging is expensive. Nothing's legitimate in the way of actual protest. This is all done as grist for the MSM's mill of propaganda, as all the familiar outlets take up the hue and cry against Trump's federal goons. The federal agents have kept calm and professional despite every move they make being cast by hysterics and lunatics as draconian and illegal. This from people that set illegal fires, destroy everything in sight, and attack those very agents. It's all a big show. No sound, but the video from Sergio Olmos. The moms get gassed, as planned. Having refused to move back, the feds push them back, as planned. The mainstream media will banshee shriek their outrage to the world, as planned. And sane Americans won't give one flipping damn. If Trump was a tyrant, all these people would be dead. Sergio Olmos is clearly pro Antifa. Those assault rifles the agents are carrying are loaded with less than lethal rounds. Rifles with real ammo are not used, as nobody gets shot. Unless you were in the CHOP in Seattle, and then that was Antifa. Sergio Olmos tweeting, protesters move forward after federal officers retreat inside the courthouse. Protester raises their hand in victory. Colorful balloons in the distance. Okay, so this is a mob laying siege to a federal courthouse. Yeah, okay. So that's happening. The voice of Antifa. These people are legit insane. This person also delighted in assaulting the street preacher a few days ago. They are hyper violent and utterly fearless. Let's go to Sergio Olmos. Xavier Warner dancing to We Got the Guillotine, You Better Run. Yeah, so they're laying siege to a federal courthouse. All in all, the night games in Portland are shaping up to be an exercise in futility. The mad against the stern, those mad with indoctrinated dreams that can never come true, crashing into those determined to enforce the law and standards of social conduct. Sergio Olmos. This is when federal officers dispersed moms in helmets using batons and tear gas. Some officers are carrying assault rifles. Remember, the assault rifles have beanbags in them. Whatever. One side will eventually break. It's a foregone conclusion. Signs of it everywhere as the bowel movement fractures in the face of implacable agents determined to hold their ground. Fights break out among Antifa and Black Lives Matter. Protester punches Mason Lake, an independent live streamer whose Twitter bio says he's working the BLM movement in Portland. I had predicted this, of course, as I'm a hobby historian, ancient Rome, World War II, and especially the OSS and British intelligence of World War II. Every day, more of their leadership is absent, in custody. The will directing the mob is not there. 43 and counting. Hey, look, it's Alpenflage again, giving directions and orders. He's been doing this for days. The feds act like he's not there. Weird. Ho ho. Hee hee. As Antifa craters itself, we get meaningless symbolic theater. From Sergio Olmos, federal officers are using significant amount of impact munitions and tear gas. Good. Anyone who studied how Giuliani took down the mob in New York can tell you how this is being handled. The end result here has never been in doubt. Antifa is running headlong into a wall over and over, jumping up bloody and broken to do it again until they can't. Day 55, Sergio. All right, look at him go, guys. Oh, check out the hammer and sickle. Okay, anyway, moving on. Want to know who many believe assisted in taking down the New York Mafia? It was this guy, setting them up for the feds to knock them down. It was child's play for him. Antifa are children and permanent adolescents. Denied leadership, they're doomed. Minutes after heavy impact munitions and tear gassing, fuck 12, fuck 12, fuck 12. Here's the video. I'm not even going to blow it up. It's just so depressing. But, and this is an important point, Trump is their president too, whether they love or hate him. Many have been indoctrinated and deceived, mired into the insanity that they now want to create everywhere. Trump doesn't hate them. He wants to help them come back to their lost humanity. Trump does utterly despise those who've done this to them. The Bernie Sanders and Alinskyites, who embedded themselves into America's schools, colleges, and neighborhoods. He's being relentless in pursuit of them. The dark forces funding and fomenting all of this from the shadows are going all in a desperate gamble to try to stop what's coming. Trump wasn't trying to just put butts in prison. Those butts would be replaced overnight. He's dismantling the world that they built to abuse us. In the next 3.5 months, masks are going to fall. That will shock you. Trump is a showman. He's all about timing. When he's ready, the funding that all these spoiled brats, free goodies, will evaporate. Oh man, what happened to my free stuff? President Trump is showing every sane American, even those on the left, the consequences of voting in ideologues. An important point. What are the politics of these men? I have no idea. And that's the point. Their politics are separate from their duty. America needs that. I don't know how much longer these tired antics will continue, weeks or months, but I already know how this charade ends. The mob runs out of money, morale, and focus. All the feds have to do is hold their ground and arrest the brains directing the mayhem. Carlos Osuita has pointed out this nation has more guns than people, yet not one shot has been fired during weeks of protest by either side. I'm talking real, not rubber. President Trump is orchestrating a controlled crash of Antifa that has to play out. 43 insurrectionists are in federal custody and counting. That's just Portland. Federal teams have been making quiet arrests nationwide for weeks. This is what has the Democrats foaming at the mouth in rage. Their street thugs are being neutered before their eyes. The tumult seems overwhelming. That's because the mainstream media are masters at signal boosting those they support. All that destruction in Portland, the fires, assaults, and vandalism. Would you believe that 90% of it has been done by less than 300 hardcore Antifa? It's true. Ted Wheeler and his city council ensure the most violent and destructive Antifa members are, if arrested at all, quickly released. They have to do this, you see, because the number of hardcore Antifa is so small. If even 50 were in custody, the chaos would falter. They want this chaos. By September, these Portland riots will be over. Leadership in jail, funding blocked. Mainstream media and Democrats are going to be forced to respond to President Trump's new offensive just launched yesterday. That executive order is devastating on multiple levels, and Trump's just getting started. Trump signs executive order blocking illegal aliens from census. Let the mainstream media screech about Gestapo. Trump is Hitler. Again, America has been shown two sides. Choose accordingly. Vote your interests in November. All will be well.